So, I guess I should pull up what I'm doing here. I'm trying to do, let's see if I have it. So, what I'm doing is I'm doing this challenge day with 100 days of Swift, and they're telling you to build an app that does blah, blah, blah. And I think he's like wanting you to do just one thing, like temperature conversion. All right, so before I started all that stuff, one of the things I did was I'm getting tired of having these blank icons. So I went to this website, downloaded an icon, and then I found out what the size of it was. Uh, Made an icon using GIMP, yada, yada, yada. There's all the layers. So you can see, like, when I was first time, let's see, turn the background off. That's an error. Turn this off. See, when I first did them, they were like way up there and moved them about, yada, yada, yada. So let's Control Z that. I think that's right. So the whole point of it was that I had to make an inscribed circle to pull these arrows out so that they were, let's go zoom, fit image, because on the icon itself in the simulator, let's pull it back. See how it's kind of curved? If that runs all the way out to the tippy toe there, right there, on the edge, you won't see it because there's a bevel like so. So anyway, just make a circle, move your shapes to do that. And I did that with Sergey and Octave last weekend. So we fixed that together. Um, anyway, so you got an icon, right? That's groovy, and the whole purpose is it's supposed to be. I'm doing a little bit different than his challenge. I'm going to say like you can have multiple conversions. So you would have an input, and the idea was you could convert from this. All these things kind of slide around, and it makes a contiguous line, and maybe you convert to this output, and you could go back and forth. That's why it's a double-headed arrow. Anyway, that's my artiste. So looks like so. Let's move this away. We'll show the code and show the funkiness I got there. All right, so, like I said, a 1024 by 1024. The next thing is when I was doing it, if I was in GIMP, actually, I should pull GIMP back up. If I pull it back up and I were to go File New, you go to Advanced Options, it'll tell you like in pixels by inch by default. So you've got your resolution and you've got this. If you pull up the file, let's pull this up over here, and I do get info, I think that's where I saw it. Doop, 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 maybe it's not here. Maybe it's not in there. Maybe it's in. Okay, so if you create a new image, that happens. But if you go view image info, maybe image properties. Yeah, it pulls it up in PPI all the time. But I want to be able to, go back and forth, and basically, I use that Mac OS website to get the icon, to get the size, and then it had the dimensions different from the standard. So I was like, okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it. That'll be my first conversion. All right, so let's get rid of this and go to the code. So I'm going to do a resolution view. And so that's what I did. Just And this is just going to take in pixels per millimeter and then convert that to PPI. Um, Also, one of the things that I'm doing is because I'm having multiple views from the main view. Um, I'm trying to do that correctly, but I'm probably not doing it correctly because this is the new API and the Apple help, and they talk about a navigation split view versus what we were learning in his follow along was a navigation stack. I think when you're doing this, you're supposed to have kind of a left pane, right pane kind of thing, and the detail is the right pane and the left pane is up here, but I did it a little differently. I'm passing a subscreen enum down to the view, which I, I got that from the example. And I think in that case, what they're trying to do is create one view that handles different subviews. So I could probably get rid of that, but I just kept it in for the moment. And like when I was playing with this before, I created this hashable and describable enum so that I can kind of keep track of it. Um, that's my only thing there. All right, so let me show you the app and then we kind of explain. It'll be a little easier. So there's another thing I'm trying to do, but let's go to length. So right now I don't have different, really, which is what he was wanting to teach you. He's wanting to teach you based upon what we've already learned. You would have the ability to like click on different types of links and then click on different types of outputs, and what you had typed in would be converted. Um, my thing was I was trying to, like I say, do this to get to there. So let's sit once again. So if I put in millimeters, 25.4, that's 1 inch, right? The other thing is because that he also showed us how to do this guy. Oops, let's see. IO input. Let's take off that. Okay, there we go. And he's saying based upon when you're in there, you can have a done button, or you can just go back. Resolution. Here I'm playing with stuff. So if I type, it'll blow it away. So let's see. 5.6690 should be 144. I only know that because that's the image uh, icon that I made. So you can just go back. Mass, same thing. And one of the, so we know 1 kilograms, 2.2 something pounds, 2.205. And temperature, zero is 32, right? What are we, maybe 26 today? I don't know, 26. Yeah, 78 maybe. So the other thing I was trying to do, which I haven't figured out, because I don't know what I'm doing. I want this thing up here to have that icon, and I believe that's my title icon, and that's correct. And I basically had to figure out how to do that. And I remember doing this when I did Objective C a long time ago. But what's weird is it's used to have, oops, It's gone. I'm not sure. These are all universal. I think when I first dragged it over, it created two. So there would be like for universal and then for iPhone. And I know this is not right. So this is like 64 by 64 and this is 32. I think this is like 96 or maybe it's 16, 32, 64. So this is not three times that. So this will be kind of wrong. And this is for if you're on like different iPhone resolution or different like an iPad. But get back to the, let's go back to the code. Let's look at length, for instance. And there's no way I'll be able to remember how to pull up the canvas here, but we can try. So I've been basically saying that it's going to be this with that, which this is not really used. It's just there. And on this one, I don't have a label, and this kind of shows what I was trying to figure out. So I'm in the subview. I can set what this subview is, and that's the length, and that looks right. All right, let's go back. We're in length. Length looks correct. I want this to be here, but I could come in and like pick out a ruler, which looks kind of cool, but in this dialogue icon, it doesn't work. I think that's if you popped up like a dialogue and it had like okay, and then over there you would have an icon. And then if I put this label stuff up, I can put it up there and you can see that like on resolution. But now the app is below the subview. I would like it to be reversed. And you can see the difference here. So this is just a label. It has nothing to do with the navigation stack. And if I go in here and I put resolution, that works. But there's no way to add like navigation icon text and string. So it doesn't work. Like, yeah, I don't even have it there. But that's that. That's about all there is to it, I guess.